How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Bitcoin is showing some weakness right now. It's falling down just above $117,000. Ethereum is going under 4,500. This is going to shake some people out, to be clear. We have a lot of people getting worried on social media. We can see Bitcoin dominance has broken down below this trend line, but we could see something really interesting here very soon. We could see a bit of a liquidation cascade, in my opinion, but I would not be shaken out. I would not be shaken out right now because there are a lot of positive things happening in the background, and this is pretty textbook what's happening right now. We can see there are a lot of exchanges that are sending crypto to Wintermute, like Binance. A lot of other centralized exchanges are participating as well. What are they doing? They're causing the price to go down. They're liquidating people and then causing the price to go down so they can buy back in at a lower price. This constantly happens. We see this happen from market makers and whales. You can see over the last hour, $50 million worth of longs have been liquidated. Most of them Ethereum longs, and then also some Bitcoin and some other longs. But this is just what happens to reset the market. I want to get into this. If you don't mind, though, hit subscribe so you can see future videos like this. I'm getting going pretty quick here. I should take a breath. If you want to trade crypto, we have this special campaign going on right now on BYDeFi. Every $1 million that anyone trades that has ever used my link adds another $100 to this prize pool, and it gets distributed at the end of this countdown. We've already done this with several different cryptocurrencies in the past with XRP and Bitcoin. We've given away thousands of dollars, and it's not just to new members. So once you sign up here and you start trading on the platform, let's say you like it, you constantly get these rewards, assuming you continue to trade. So it's a great way just to get free crypto airdrop to you. Basically, you just have to claim it. And then this is a great platform just in general, right? You can use CoinM, so you can actually trade crypto with crypto. You can trade Bitcoin and get rewarded in Bitcoin. You can trade XRP and get more XRP over time, which is great because the underlying collateral, which is the tokens, generally goes up as well. You can also just trade USDT, which is how a lot of exchanges work. So check this out underneath the video. And you don't have to KYC unless you want to. So check it out. I think now is a great time to be trading, and we'll be talking about this setup throughout the video. Now, like I said, Bitcoin is falling down right now. We just hit all-time highs 2 days ago. Everyone was very excited. I made a video saying, hey, I am taking some profits, right? Everyone seems super excited, but we do have PPI in about 12 hours. And what do you know? That PPI came out not great, right? Pretty negative, showing higher inflation than expected. The U of M inflation sentiment gauge just came out too, and it's expecting the 1 year and the 5 year inflation to be about 0.5% higher than what they expected last month. So there are some people that are concerned. We also were already seeing a little bit of weakness, just a pullback on Bitcoin to 121. And then we saw the PPI come in, and it's a good way for the exchanges and the whales to manipulate the price down, get everyone worried, get everyone negative on crypto, and dump the price a bit. But it's amazing. You know, we had this negative news. We also had the fear, uncertainty, and doubt of Scott Bessent saying that they're not going to accumulate, or they're not going to buy more Bitcoin, right? And people sounded so bearish on that, which I'll give my thoughts on that. But that kind of added a little bit more fuel to the fire. But we're still at $117,000. So everyone wondering like, oh, should I just get out right now? Just zoom out. At this time last year, we were around $60,000. We've gone up almost 100% in the last year. And people are worried about this like 5-6% move. It's crazy how far we've come. And this constantly happens. Like we constantly move up to new highs and then chop around. We move up to new highs, chop around. So I would not be surprised if we chop around here a little bit. Maybe there's some liquidations. Maybe we go right below this line. Who knows? Maybe we even break below it, right? And there's some liquidations. It resets everything. And then we see more accumulation. We see a new high, right? So I am still trading right now. What was it? 2 days ago, I took profits when we were at this high. And then when we fell down here, I actually moved one of my positions to be a little bit more aggressive. So this looks like I'm not in the profit on this. I'm like down 4.9% or 4.29. But this is actually my 60x position that I started here. Rode it up to a little bit higher than we are right now. I think it was right around 118.4 or something that I took profits. I got 100% gain and then went lower leverage. So we're actually still up like nearly 95% of this position because we put in right about $1,500. So it's still very in the green. You can trade profitably over time. And this is actually like a pretty make or break moment for Bitcoin's price action short term, because if we stay above this, we could definitely jump up back like we did yesterday. We could see, we were moving up into the 119 range, but if we break down, we could see some more liquidations, liquidation cascade. Keep in mind though, like people are bearish, but that's just because of the price action, in my opinion. If the price was going up, people would be bullish, right? They would say that what he said yesterday was no big deal. It was a nothing burger, which is what I said, because it really was, right? Yesterday he said that they weren't going to be buying Bitcoin. The US government wasn't going to be buying Bitcoin. And I said, that's really not any different than what they've said in the past. They don't want to actively buy. They want to accumulate through budget neutral ways. And he didn't change that wording at all. He actually tweeted afterwards because people were freaking out on Twitter. He said, Bitcoin that has been finally forfeited to the federal government will be the foundation of the strategic reserve that President Trump established in the March executive order. In addition, the Treasury is committed to exploring budget-neutral pathways to acquire more Bitcoin to expand the reserve and to execute on the president's promise to make the United States the Bitcoin superpower of the world. So they will continue to acquire Bitcoin, it sounds like. Of course, we haven't seen them actually do that, but there will be ways, I think, that they try to acquire more Bitcoin. Now, even if the US doesn't buy Bitcoin, you can see all the big financial institutions are acquiring Bitcoin. Keep in mind, BlackRock is a day behind. So 2 days ago, when we were hitting all-time highs, BlackRock was actually acquiring about $500 million worth of Bitcoin. Yesterday, the market was down and all these other institutions had outflow. So don't be surprised if BlackRock has an outflow today because they're delayed an extra day, it sounds like. But we still had an inflow of $231 million into the Bitcoin ETFs yesterday. Yesterday, the ETH ETFs acquired a lot, like $640 million. Most of that coming from BlackRock, $520 million. It's incredible what they're able to get in assets under management in such a short period of time. They are accumulating heavily, and this is with Ethereum still falling down. We're at like 4,500, and they're still accumulating a lot, which people are naturally bearish, saying, oh, well, why aren't we higher? Well, the fact is they are oftentimes buying these over the counter, right? They're not just going and smashing buy and taking it straight from the market, which would cause the price to go up. They're buying it over the counter, which is like some seller comes in and matches with a buyer through some kind of exchange or over-the-counter desk, right? And then it doesn't affect the price of Ethereum quite as much, but it does take ETH away from a willing seller, of someone that wants to sell Ethereum, to someone that wants to buy Ethereum. So it does cause less selling pressure as well. You can see too, we've seen a lot of support right at this level for Ethereum. Like over the last 24 hours or so, we've seen 4 or 5 different times where we bounced off this exact level. So maybe something there. Of course, we could see liquidations if we fell below it, but we also have other companies that constantly are buying Ethereum and Bitcoin. SharpLink Gaming just announced that they bought another 130,000 ETH, which is worth $600 million. This is big by any standards. Like for a company to buy $600 million of a crypto asset, that's big even for Bitcoin right now. There aren't a lot of companies, really any companies besides maybe MicroStrategy, that's regularly buying $600 million in a week. So SharpLink making a huge purchase there. Coinbase Institutional announces the altcoin season is coming. As September approaches, the transition to a full-scale altcoin season is likely. Our positive Q3 2025 outlook stems from macro trends such as a potential Fed rate cut and expected regulatory advancements. More key themes in the monthly outlook report. So we won't go through that, but they're calling for an alt season. We also have SEC Chair Paul Atkins saying all divisions are mobilizing to make America the crypto capital of the world. We know the SEC and the CFTC seem to be pretty pro-crypto right now, and that could be part of what Coinbase is talking about with the regulatory advancements. Of course, Bitcoin dominance has broken down below 60%, which a lot of people have been watching. 60%, obviously a pretty round number. Now, if you move this down slightly, you can see, depending on how you put the lines, maybe we're still in this channel because we bounced off of it right around 54.5. We could be still in this channel, which could signify maybe Bitcoin dominance going back up. We could see a bit of a bounce, especially if ETH has some liquidations. Don't be surprised if that happens. You know, if we break below this level that we've seen some support at, I wouldn't be super surprised to see us just come back down to 4,000 just to cool off for a little bit, because we are overbought on RSI. You can see we're like right back towards the overbought line, which is 70 after this low pullback here. But we have been overbought. Keep in mind, we were significantly oversold in the past too. But we went from 3,500 all the way to 4,700 in about a week and a half. So a very big move. Again, I would not be surprised. I would not be bearish either if we came back down, came to like 4,100 or 4,000, flip that into support, and then continue to rally up. There would be a lot of liquidations as well. So, you know, I'm sure market makers and some whales would like that to get a better buying price on Ethereum. And that would kind of reset the RSI. So I'm going to be watching that level specifically. If we get down to a $4,000 Ethereum, I think that's a pretty juicy, or 4,100 even, I'm not going to be too greedy, a pretty juicy opening price for Ethereum as well. Now let's look at some other cryptos. We'll look at XRP, sitting right around that $3 mark. I have a significant number of XRP long positions as well. You can see it's still looking really good. Like, we moved up back in July, and we've just been floating around from 270 up to 370, setting what looks like a higher low here. So XRP is still looking really good after the court case. Solana sitting right around 180, so setting a handful of higher highs and higher lows. This is looking bullish. I called it out just a few days ago that I think this could be a pretty good trade if we continue to see an alt season occur. We've seen ETH kind of lead the rally. Don't be surprised if it moves down to Solana and XRP, especially if we get new people that come into the space. I think these will probably rally pretty hard because XRP is a little bit cheaper price. So people look at that, and even though it doesn't really matter because you should look at the market cap, people see that and they're like, oh, I can afford 100 XRP. That's great. And then it adds more buying pressure. It seems like a lot of newer investors really like XRP. And then Solana also is a place to gamble. So if they're new people, they might get into memes, and then you see them gamble on Solana on the chain. And then, that can definitely cause the price of Solana to go up. So I'm watching those as kind of the next winners after Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I'm really not taking massive positions on them. Of course, I have built up positions over time, and those are like slightly riskier bets, obviously, than Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. If you do want to trade, like I said, there are links to BYDeFi underneath the video. You can start trading in just a few minutes. It's super easy, and I wouldn't suggest doing this with your entire portfolio, but you can do it with a small fraction of your portfolio and get very good returns. I do have some trading videos too explaining how to do that. I'll put one on the end screen. It's actually how to day trade, which hint, I don't like day trading. I'm actually explaining don't day trade for these reasons. You should do what I do instead. It's much safer. It gives you much better returns. It's much easier too, and less risk. So I'll put that on the end screen. Definitely check that out. It's a really good starting place if you want to start trading. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video, and check out the link to Telegram as well. I post videos early in there, or exclusive videos. Sometimes if I'm like trying to upload a video, but it's taking a while because of the internet or because of YouTube or something, sometimes I'll film a shorter video and put it right on Telegram. So you can check that out underneath the video. I'll see you all soon. By the way, there are links to BTCC and BTUNIX and Weeks and BLOFIN underneath the video too. A lot of people have been liking those platforms. And some people have been saying that they really want to trade SUI via CoinM, which BYDeFi doesn't allow right now. Oh, they just added it. Oh, okay, cool. I was going to say they have it on BLOFIN, but they just added SUI as well, and Link and Litecoin as well, AVAX. So check those out. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.